Halo Jacob. Mam, toka hapo kwa nini? Kwa simu umetosha. Hello, Jacob.
Import, export.
Japonj.
If only you had gotten pregnant for long. What if you going through this right now? I would have had everything that belongs to me.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Yes. I'm sorry for starting a bit late. We had a bit of a problem with the link. It seems like some of our participants did not receive the link on time. My sincere apologies on that. Okay, now without wasting any time, I would like to welcome you once again for today's our second training. Very much welcome. And I would like to thank all the participants that had some interactions with the trainer. And we really would like to encourage everybody to really interact with our trainer. It's very necessary. If you don't understand whatever was discussed earlier, call back, bother him. You have paid for this session, so you need to get, all the information that you need. So should you need any help, please feel free. Contact the host, contact Dr. Jacob Ong'ala. I think we all have his contact details. If you don't have his contact details, let me know, I will forward it to you. So should you need further information or further clarity on any topic that was discussed, feel free to contact him and so that you can get the necessary information or more explanation on the topic that was discussed. And we have a lot of upcoming and follow-up training that we'll also be communicating to you. We would really love to go through with you on all the aspects when it comes to research methodology. So we will have some follow-up training that will communicate with you. So we will I really hope that you will also be part of our future training. And we can also organize some specialized training or specific training that you also need assistance on. Please feel free to let us know, and then we can also tailor-make, some training as per your needs. So welcome, and let's continue. We have this training session until Friday. So let us all be on time, and I will try to send the link a bit probably earlier also, so we can also have it on time. So without wasting any time, Doctor, the time is yours.
Thank you, Charlotte. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We are not able to identify some of your names in Zoom. So please try to put your name, because we are trying to remove some people who have not paid. It happened that some people got into the training without our consent. So try to put the name that you used to register with to avoid you being removed from the training when the training session is on, please. I want to thank you very much again this evening for creating time to attend this evening training. As I promised you yesterday, we are going to have it so much practical today. And on my screen, you can already see some sample project which I've designed specifically for this training. And I'm going to walk you through this so that we learn together. This project is going to be called Control Strategies of COVID-19, then working options for Kenya. You can replace your country if you are coming from Namibia, coming from, I'm seeing one from Nigeria. If you are coming from those countries, you can replace your country there. And then you are going to be happy with your topic. Now, when you have a project like this, you want to study this project, or maybe you want to do a paper or a report concerning this project. I've tried to bring the sections together that are more important whenever you are writing such a kind of a project. The first thing that you will always look for is introduction. I believe COVID-19 is a very new topic to all of us. So, and one thing I know for sure, most of the articles that we are reading about COVID-19 are latest. Most of them are 2020, unless you are relating it to other infectious diseases. So this is a very, very new area, and we believe no one knows about it unless you read. Now, the first thing that you need to look at is to build the background of your project. Building background is very, very important whenever you are writing a project. Building background informs, it gives strength to your problem statement and to your objectives. In the way you build your introduction should indicate, should insinuate what sort of problem you are out to solve, okay? And when you are building your introduction, it should also insinuate your title. And if it connects your title, it should also connect with your problem statement and connects also with your objectives. And that is how the flow of a paper or a project or a research work should be. Now, basically, when I want to look at control strategies of COVID-19, I can't start by building an introduction by looking at the control strategies. I start by, what is this COVID-19? I want to understand biological understanding of COVID-19. And when we talk about understanding of biological, I mean, the science behind COVID-19, we're looking at the cause, we are looking at the origin, the spread, the transmission, the epidemiology, and so forth. all the things that requires us to understand what COVID is, they're surrounded about, within those 3 points. Now, the question is, where and which literature do we get this information? When you talk about, if you are an economist in this forum, or you are a statistician in this forum, whenever you are reading, you want to get information about, background information about COVID, you cannot go to statistics articles. You cannot go to economics articles. You cannot go to other, apart from articles that borders around the biology of COVID-19. Of course, you might go to medical articles, public health articles, biological sciences articles, and so forth. And these are the articles that are going to have strong, very strong command on giving you a background of COVID-19. I know one of the most important problems that people get into whenever they are doing research is they don't know which articles. Sometimes whenever you are discussing about background of COVID, you find yourself citing a paper which is of mathematics or a paper which is of economics, yet you are building the background of biology of COVID-19. For you to have as a milestone in building this area, you need to get the right paper for that particular concept you are looking at. Remember, that is also a form of literature review. Remember yesterday when I was explaining to you the aspects of literature review, it gives you a platform of building understanding of the problem. It gives you a platform of understanding how to build your problem itself, how to build your literature review, the one now that we know. And also it helps you to, build your methodology. It also helps you to, compare and contrast your results with whatever is existing. So literature review is a process that goes along all through your research work. Good. Now, the next thing that we'll be doing in this problem is that we'll be looking at the current states of Kenya. Remember, we are looking at the working options for Kenya. After knowing the disease biology, then let us now get to Kenya. What is it that's happening in Kenya now? For us to be able to look at the options in Kenya, we need to look at the Kenyan context on its own to understand at the moment what is happening. If you talk about the numbers, what numbers do we have in Kenya, and so forth. Good. So that gives you an understanding of the title. Remember, it has touched the title. If you look at my title, Control Strategies of COVID-19, Working Options for Kenya. Already I have envisioned what sort of problem this research is going to address. Even before I say the problem, what is the problem statement? The reason why we always have a problem in writing our problem statement is that we don't get enough time to conceptualize our background. If you conceptualize your background in this way, already you will have a platform of defining your problem. In fact, if somebody reads your work, you can already know what your problem is. And that is how a background should be built. And once you have identified the problem, you already know which objectives, because objectives are meant to solve the problem. Okay, great. Now, let's go to the section B. Section B of this project is going to now to look at what is it has been done that is similar to what you are doing. This is where now you are going to read articles that talks about control strategies. And this is where you are now even allowed to consider other infectious diseases that are behaving in a similar manner as COVID and the way they have been controlled. In this case, you're allowed now. In this case, you're allowed. How have they been controlled? Now, in this problem, I don't expect somebody, when you are now writing section B, there is a review, to start defining what COVID is. I don't expect you at this point to start telling me COVID is caused by this kind of a virus. COVID is spread like this. No. In this case, you need to look at what are the control measures which has been proven to be working, which has been shown to be working, which has been used in different places and has been successful. And that is what you need to be doing in this section here. So if you look at my questions, I've written them in questions. What are the control options that have been published? Remember, there is that one, have been published. Literature review, it has to be convincing. To convince means you put your benchmark on whatever has been accepted by all. Accepted by all here means published. And that is why I've written there, what are the controls options that have been published? In some forums, of which some of you are in, I just posted some video of a doctor in US, in Texas. He was claiming that there is a drug that is using, and I believe you have also seen it in the social media. It's flowing all over. She's saying that, I used this drug and I've treated 300 people and they got healed. Fine. That is a good information and it's a control measure. But has it been published? Maybe that one is left for another discussion. I know it can be argued on a different angle when you talk about publication. But here, it has to be accepted by all. In that, accepted by all here, we agree, we disagree, we critique, and so forth. It means everyone must be able to have an avenue of seeing what we are talking about. Question number 2, which options has worked for which regions and why? If you look at those questions, they really hit on my title. They're really hitting on my title. Now, question 3, compare regions similar to Kenya, either successful or overwhelmed in fighting the disease. Are you seeing that? So those are questions that when you are reading, there must be, even when you are selecting papers, they must be able to answer those problems, those questions. And then finally, we're talking about, what about other regions different from Kenya? This is now when you want to compare a developed nation and a developing nation, like Kenya and Singapore, for example, Kenya and Texas, for example, or Kenya and London, for example. You want to compare those two regions, which they are not having, the same social setup. So what happens in those two? What makes the fight of Corona in Texas different from fight of Corona in Kenya and any other developing country? So you may need to bring that on board. Okay. Now, in this section here, this is where you need to build the gaps. Remember, in the introduction, we were creating the problem. We were building the platform for the problem. While in section B, we are poking holes on the existing documentations and creating gaps. Try to create gaps when you are reading your literature, okay? And those gaps are what is going to make justify your research. Those gaps are going to justify your research. Whenever you read an article, compare it with what you are going to do. There are 3 things. 1, you may agree with what is being said by the published work. 2, you may not agree. That means that's the process of criticism. Or you may just find an article that is concurring, that's already answering what you want to do. So there has to be an aspect of critique whenever you are writing your literature. Good. So let's move to the key points. Remember, after doing those two big, those are the major sections that justifies your research. If you don't write them well, your research will not be justifiable. Now, based on those two sections, you can build on the key themes that you want to really look for in the literature. Number one, you want to look in the literature, you want to look for the control strategies for COVID-19. Number two, you want to look for effectiveness of the strategies. Number three, you want to look at the challenges encountered in the implementations of those strategies. And then number four, you want to look at the mitigations of the strategies, of the challenges, sorry. Of the challenges. Good. Now, I have put those keywords because we are going to use them somewhere. Those keywords, one, they can come from your objectives. You can build your objectives from these keywords, number one. Number two, you can build your research questions from these key themes. You can build your hypothesis for those who are working with your hypothesis from these key themes. These key themes will direct you to which articles you are going to pick. Good. So the next thing that we'll be doing today, I'll be showing you now. What I was reading to you was just an overview of the project we will be using in this training here. We may not finish, do everything, but I will pick a portion that I'm going to dwell in so much, and then we will learn with it. The rest you can learn with, on your own when you are practicing. So let's go back now to our Atlas TI and pick up from where we left yesterday. Yesterday, we concluded by showing you how to upload documents into Atlas TI. And whenever you upload Atlas TI, on my right, if you are seeing my mouse, on my left, sorry, you are seeing different objects. The first object is documents. In bracket, there's 31. It means I have uploaded 31 documents there. The second one are codes. I'll talk about codes in this session here at length. Remember, codes are the themes for reading. Whenever you are reading, there is a particular thing which you are looking for. That is what is called a theme. Then after code, we have memos. After code, we have memos. After code, we have memos. And then we have memos. Then we have networks. Then below networks, we are now talking of groups. We can group documents. We can group codes. We can group memos. We can group networks. Okay. Now, whenever you are adding your document, remember I said you can add all sort of documents, including PDF, including text, including sounds, audios, including videos, including pictures, and so many things that can be kept in a computer. You can always add all those kind of articles. Now, just to remind you on uploading of documents, if, for example, in the page where I am, I'm in a page called memos, and probably one might get lost. Where do I go to from here to upload my documents? Just go to home. Whenever you are lost, go to home. Whenever you are lost, go back to home. Of course, that's the norm always. Whenever you're lost, even in life, you go back home. You find home. You ask for home. So if you go home, you can find your documents here in this document manager. If you click on it, it will bring you this. These are all my documents which I have uploaded. Then we are talking of, if you go back home again, you can also go to quotation manager. We still don't have quotation. Remember, when you do that, it creates for you one more menu. Quotation is up here. It's up here. And then go back home. You can get to your code manager. Then you get back to your codes. Go back home again. You can get back to your memos, your networks, your links, and so forth. That one, I think everyone now is okay. Now, when you're at home, already you will see add document. It is the first icon on the left of your window. It's the first icon there. So make sure you always find it when you go home for adding of documents. So if you click on it, it will ask you where do you want to get the document from. It asks you which folder is the document. Then you click on your document that you want to add. Let me add one here for the purposes of those who are joining us today. Okay, at last year workshop. Okay, workshop at last year. Sorry, I don't need that one. I need this one. COVID-19 book project. I want to bring this one here. When I add it, it will always appear on the screen there. You can increase the size because the way it is, it's not very clear. You can increase the size of the page by dragging that page like that to your desired size. Okay. You can as well reduce this one here to your desired size depending on what you want and so forth. And once you are through, you can even close it. You can even close it. You can even close those other ones. The ones that you are not working with, please always close them because they will block the other things which you are doing. Great. The next thing that I will show you is how to import documents. How to import documents. There is a better way. Remember, whenever you are doing your literature review, the most important thing is to do citation and to do referencing well. Now, there are some other software which have always been used to help in doing for you the referencing and citations and so forth of properly organized articles. If I talk of properly organized articles, I mean journals, I mean books, conference proceedings, and so forth. When you upload them in these programs, they can select for you the title of the article, the name of the authors, the year, and so forth. One of them is called Mendeley. Mendeley is a free version software which you can easily use to organize your article. So I am going to import, but I will use this menu here. This menu here, import and export, and I will use the reference manager. Okay. Now allow me to share my next screen called Mendeley. So I will stop sharing this one, then I will share the next screen now. Mendeley is a software that looks like this. I hope you're able to see my screen. This is a Mendeley desktop. You can, at the end of the training, you can download this Mendeley and use it. It's free version. You can use it. You can even add it in your Word. Okay. Now, this one here, I have imported some of my papers or journal papers in this. Whenever I import them, it will pick all the names of the authors. It will pick the title automatically. it will pick the year, it will pick when it was published and where it is published and so forth. Our training today is not concerned of Mendeley, but I'm just showing you that this is another way that you can always make use of your articles and you will be happy about it. So I'm going to export this. I will export this as EndNote, and I'm going to save it in where we are having our stuff. Let me see, it's there. I will save it there. It's called My Collection. Remember, it's called My Collection. And it's having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 articles. Already it has grouped those articles somewhere. The articles have been uploaded in Mendeley. So I'm going to go back to my Atlas TI to import them now. I will import them through Reference Manager. I have to share first of all my my Atlas TI. You are now there. So I can see we are remaining with 2 minutes for this session. The links for the next session has already been shared in your mobile phones. Once this meeting ends, you can log in with the next link which has been sent already on your phone. So I'm going to import now. Import. Remember, take note, please. Take note here. We have only 32 documents, and I need to add 7. There'll be 39. So I'll import. There you are. My collection. Yes, there you are. Then I will only import the first name, author. I don't want this one to be imported. You can select what you want, then I import. It is now importing. It is now importing. It has imported. Look at my documents now. They are now 40. They are now 40. And already when you come down here, look at the way they are organized. They come with the name of the author, the name of the author, the year published, the title of the paper. It comes when it's already get organized. So that is one thing that is going to happen whenever you are renaming your articles. In the next sessions, I will start by demonstrating to you how, whenever you have imported your articles, how do you rename them? How do you give them names? It's very, very important. Look at the ones which have been imported by Mendeley. Already they are organized. The author and the title, the year and the title. But look at mine, the one which I imported before. They don't have that. So I need to work on them again later to ensure that they look as the ones imported by Mendeley. Okay, so thank you very much. We are meeting in the next session in a few minutes' time.